Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're playing the demo for a game called Replaced. It's developed by Sad Cat Studios, published by Thunderful Publishing, and you can find the game on Steam. The demo just came out as of today, and I've been looking forward to this game for a very long time, ever since it was announced in 2021. Feels like a century ago, but really excited to play this, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, please forgive the quality of the video. This is a 2.5 pixel art game, so the compression on YouTube probably will destroy how this looks, but hopefully it turns out alright. Anyways, if you're not familiar with my channel, at the end of the video I will review the game, share my general thoughts, and give it my final judgment, and I will have timestamps in the description. Also, I'm using a controller. It is recommended for the best experience to use a controller for this demo. Now let me tell you a little bit about the game and we'll get started. Expose the sinister secrets of Phoenix Corporation as R.E.A.H, an AI trapped in a human body. Set in an alternate 1980s America scarred by nuclear catastrophe, navigate a dark cyberpunk thriller in this narrative-driven 2.5D platformer, blending cinematic exploration with fluid, free-flow action. Now that you know what the game is about, we'll go ahead and hit play and see what's up. So, play game. North American Trucking Association. Nice. Well, I guess that's us. Actualizing our status, our work at Phoenix Corporation. Me as an AI and you as my creator and operator. Warren was flawless. Brief over the death of your only friend and my co-creator, Steven, caused critical overload that blew up my servers. A damaged neural interface somehow transferred me into your body, Warren. Okay. The damage control squad arrived at the burning laboratory, not to help the survivors, but to eliminate them. This is kind of like that movie Upgrade. We had to flee. Our escape forced us beyond the Phoenix City wall. Our priorities are to survive, get back to the laboratory, return your body to you, and uncover Phoenix Corporation's motives. Okay. Wow, look at this game. Holy crap. This looks really impressive. Wow, look at that lighting. Holy crap, dude. Just mashing buttons to see what they do. Can jump. This looks crazy, dude. Press A to jump. Hold A while running to jump higher. Oops, I tripped. I was too busy reading that. Okay, we can hold A to jump higher. Gotcha. Wow. Welcome to Phoenix. Phoenix Resources. Gas station. Whoa. Nice. Phoenix, Arizona. Just kind of soaking in the vibes here. Really cool stuff. This looks like we'll do a little combat roll there. I tripped again. Wait, what did that say? Move object. I guess we will, since it's inferring we should. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, this game emulates a lot of moods from everything I've been watching about it and following about it over the years, like Blade Runner, you know, kind of stuff. It's really cool. To let you experience Replace combat system more thoroughly, this demo features the Huxley gun ability, which is obtained at a later stage in the full game. Okay. Alright, here are our controls. We have our basic attack, counter attack, jump and dodge, gun blast, finisher, and restore health. Okay. You can open the controls guide at any time by pressing start. Enjoy. Thank you. Can't actually attack just standing here. Oh, whoa, this is weird. Okay, we get some signals or icons for when they're about to attack. Oh, that was cool. How do I know when I can do the finisher? Oh, I see it on the bottom left there. Ooh. Oh, nice. I think I just did a counterattack. Oh, take that. Wow, this is really cool. So maybe when that that attack icon flashes like blue at the end is when you can counter. That's just a guess. Because it's kind of yellow, and then it was blue right at the very end there. Just guessing, just guessing. Southwest Labor District? Okay. This district was a part of Phoenix City before the wall was built. Okay. Also don't know if it's Phoenix, Arizona, or if it's just called Phoenix City. Honestly, I was just goofing around. Whoa! I can just shoot a piece of metal at us like a railgun. Oh, God. Termite sniper. Keep the... I can't read that fast. Those people threaten our existence. We need to be discreet to survive, Warren. Okay. We need to sneak through here. Obviously, that light is going to get us. Oh! Seems like a bit of a scripted section. I like this. The rain looks freaking awesome, by the way. We need to adapt to the light beam pattern, Warren. Yes, I understand. So it goes all the way there. I think we're going to follow the light this time. I think we can make it. I don't think we would make it if we waited for it to come back. Oh, it's a hunt night. Okay. Some graffiti up there on the wall. Obviously, I'll talk more about this later, but I feel like some of the combat sounds were kind of hard to read, if that makes sense. I wonder if they could just be more punchy in some ways, or... I don't know. I don't know how to describe that right now. Nice. I like the climbing. That looks cool. Like, the audio design for the combat was very flat. Like, it was all, like, the same level, even for, like, the finishers and stuff. This area is getting progressively hostile, yet we managed to survive. Yeah. Because we're awesome, that's why. Scan. Eviction notice. Oh, this is cool. It's like diegetic, what do they call that? Where it's like you actually holding the technology in the game. Eviction notice. You're hereby notified to vacate this residential property by November 20th, 1970, 9 a.m. The reason for this eviction notice is the finalization of Phoenix City infrastructural reorganization. As stated in the lease, may apply for accommodation within the wall at any Phoenix Corporation office until November 15th. Living condition improvements are distributed among applicants on a case-by-case basis. Failure to vacate the property on time will result in legal recourse. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. This is cool. Okay, so this little device is called a wingman. And it looks like they're kind of forcing people to comply with the Phoenix Corporation office and move into the city, I guess. Oh, whoa, look at all this. So we can, like, read about all this stuff? Wow, this looks so cool. Huxley, a standard police firearm issued by Phoenix Corporation. This weapon can quickly switch between baton mode and laser gun mode, increasing its wielder's combat freedom. A built-in biolock prevents the gun from being used by unauthorized citizens. Oh, it's like in that anime, Psychopaths. I guess. MedStem, a reusable syringe filled with experimental healing serum created for military usage and later repurposed for civil needs. Highly effective against physical injuries of minor and moderate severity. It showed little to no effect to treating chronic diseases and lifestyle diseases. It's an irreplaceable staple in every American first aid kit. Nice. Survivor's memoir. Okay, then the med staff began to die right next to their patients. Now it's known as secondary contamination. Back then we called it a curse. Punishing people who dare to oppose the end of times. Who knew the affected people were the source of radiation? Who knew the affected people were the source of radiation as well? Mr. Rees, I don't know how you say that. Mr. Rees, stopped to catch a breath. To stop the transplanted tissue rejection, he has to rely on immunosuppressants, and a recent common cold left him in a weakened state. One thing for sure, he continues, that thing didn't discriminate. Black or white, man or woman, rich or poor, everyone was stripped of their skin and left to rot the same. To fight back, we had to learn what united really meant the hard way. Wow. Okay, some kind of crazy curse thing killing people. What are they talking about? The catastrophe 20 years later. Evening Bugle, July 14th, 1965. Trinity catastrophe 20 years later. Looking back, the catastrophe began long before the 16th of July, 1945. No one asked us if we wanted those military tests. No one ever told us what radiation was. The aftermath of the explosion was just a manifestation of a systematic governmental indifference towards the people. The priority of politicians was to silence the witnesses and cover up the real scale of the catastrophe. Instead of saving lives, they were desperate to save their face. As a result, hundreds of thousands of American lives were lost, and almost a third of our territory became unlivable for us, our children and generations to come. Still, in the total economic and social collapse and the whirlwind of massive civil unrest, our nation has risen from the radioactive ashes. The Phoenix Initiative was born, a comprehensive network of private hospitals, research facilities, charity organizations, and shelters hand-woven by the caring citizens, united by the common goal, fighting death and destruction. Today, the initiative evolved into a full-scale corporation that continues to inspire and support people in the pursuit of a better society, strong and reliable, working hard to keep the nation healthy, well-fed, and protected. Wow. Okay, some kind of terrible radiation event or fallout or catastrophe is kind of what got us to where we are now, 20 years later. Very interesting. Board game box? Cardboard box containing an economics-themed educational board game licensed by Phoenix Entertainment. A premise on the box suggests tons of fun for the whole family, while trying to rebuild a crashed economy and establish a better society through development of science and medicine. Okay, we got a couple more things here to read. I'm just really into this. I want to just get the lore, you know what I'm saying? Goodbye letter. Miss Jackson, I'm done. The city turns back into what it was before all the being donor is an honor bull crap. A bum dumpster. I've tried to be empathetic, as you've asked me, but those scumbags are called disposals for a reason. Not even the Prospero Accommodation Center would take them in. I'll be moving out in 2 weeks. My sister says it's the same in the West, but I need to see it with my own eyes. Hope you'll find a new tenant fast enough. Fast even though I doubt it. I'm trying. You should have traded your property for a tower apartment when you had a chance. You can keep my prepaid rent. Kind regards, Thomas Johnston. And then we just got the eviction notice. Okay, we're caught up on the lore. And you can look through organizer that kind of tells you what we're doing here. This is our objective. Returning to the laboratory remains the priority. Okay, very cool. Then we have our tutorials here as well. You have music that you can look through here. That's cool. And then also your settings. That's cool. I like it just kind of shows the OS and device info of the little gadget we're holding. Okay. Anyways. Hey, it's Mama's Coffee Shop. A little bit of world building there in those notes. Explaining what the whole Phoenix Corporation is and whatnot. Alright, what do we do here? Did I miss something? Oh, here we go. Do I do this, or is it... Okay, there we go. Oh, look at that. We can... Oh, cool. There's our platforming, I suppose. Nice, we did it. I was following the yellow tape that you can see on the wall. Thankfully this held together well. Throw this crate down to the bottom. Oh, it broke. I will say there's some hiccups here and there in the frame rate for some reason, so obviously this is a demo, and there can be potential improvements upon it with feedback and whatnot. Termite Josh, what's all that fuss out there? Might be Mole's bastard again. Blondie went ape crap after we offed his patron. Just keep your bloody eyes peeled, alright? Termites? Are they like a gang or something? Oh. This guy has a gun. Ow. Ooh, shot him. Okay. Get the hang of it. Okay, red ones you just can't counter. Okay. Scan pawn shop keeper's note. More notes. Laura, always check everything with the dosimeter. Emitters are still dangerous, plus 100% scavenged from the dirty lands. I don't need that crap in my pawn shop. Martha. Okay. Just looking around. I love the detail, like all the signs and stuff, and like wiring hanging around everywhere, and all the smashed tiles on the floor, and really great attention to detail, just like how cluttered everything looks in this game, and like basically apocalyptic, I guess. It looks super cool. Okay, we can move up there. Can we find anything over here? Nope, just gonna walk into the wall. Oh. Nice. I love that, being able to move up and down in the environment. That's super cool. Oh. Oh. We need to move this as we go. Slow and steady. Try not to move it when the light is on it. Oh, yeah, he killed me. That was so abrupt, too. It was like no warning or sound. It was just, boom, you're dead. I mean, they can't see this thing moving. Just in general. Nice. Flavor of success. Back when they were allowed to have cigarette advertising. Not anymore. Hiya! Wow, that's pretty far. Here we go. Whoa. Love the ambience. I don't know if it's the autosave. Phoenix Poly. I know they were talking about, like, basically Monopoly earlier. Oh my gosh. So many enemies. Is he waiting to shoot? Yeah, he was. Oh, got me. See, I countered that guy. They have, like, smaller weapons. The guys with the big weapons, I don't think we can counter. Just a guess. Got it. I wish there was just more of a distinct sound for the executes and the parries themselves, or the counters themselves. I mean, the fact that there's, like, you know, the loud music playing as well, I'm sure you could adjust that yourself, so you can just hear the combat a little bit more, but we'll go over more of that at the end. Preacher's Diary. Preacher's Diary from 1967. Our congregation is fading away. Last week, a whole district was evicted. The upstanding ones were offered modern accommodation in the city center. Some people moved west, but most agreed. And those who remained are interested neither in God nor in the devil. Who am I to compete with the Phoenix preachers? Their sweet promises describe a carefree life of comfort protected by the walls they build. But what will be the price? And who chooses the ones worthy? They say they are building the arcs, but I see Babylon towers. Ooh. Wow, okay. That was pretty cool. So it's like the Phoenix Corporation has basically become God itself, like, and not, I guess not like a literal sense, but like they're all seeing, all controlling, all influencing, and him calling it like Babylon Towers. The story of the Tower of Babel is people tried to build a tower to heaven, and when God realized this, he destroyed it, and he made everyone speak different languages. That's what the term babbling, I think, comes from. So that way they couldn't unite and try to reach heaven again or something. I might have that kind of wrong, but that's the general gist of it. Got him. Boom! That was cool. Or combat flip there. It's like the counters are pretty easy to pull off at least. Nice, at least on these basic enemies. Look at this place, dude. Oh, oh, oh! Run! Oh, no! He got me. I was a little slow to start that run there. So let's just hold. Yeah, there we go. Get a little bit of a head start now. Oh, I don't know if we're fast enough. Oh, shoot. Nice. We made it. Oh, what did that say? Move down, okay. Huh. There's some sparklies up there, stuff for us to collect. Very cool. To use this terminal, you need to power up the generator first, Warren. Okay, I can do that. This looks like a power cell that we just picked up. Insert. Portative battery. A bulky battery with a universal socket. Its key feature is the ability to accumulate and store both kinetic and solar energy to power up various machines, from motor vehicles to personal computers. Phoenix Corporation's labeling is pasted all over the original manufacturer's logo. Wow. That's not very nice. Ooh, we can do some terminal stuff now. Heck yeah, dude. Very cool. Oh no, it just moved stuff. Okay, I was hoping to, like, look at it. I guess we can make that jump, right? Let's give it a go. Shit! It's like moving the bookshelves in RE2. What a fun time that was. I went through. I should have gone up though, right? Please don't make me jump. I want to go back and look. I assume it's pointless to communicate with them, Warren. Hey, prick. You think you're a big deal? Termite tank. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I'm gonna rip you limb from limb. Oh, man. I didn't get that stuff in that room. Frick. Dang it. My bad, y'all. Oh. Just got shot. Boom. Nice. Nice try. Ow. Boom. Nice. Getting pretty good dodging those. Big guy now. He has combos, it looks like. Shooting him didn't kill him either. Whoa, that was cool. It was like a lightning flash. Man, I really would have liked to see what was up in that room. I didn't expect it to, make me go, you know, past it. Well, you're quite a thrill of chase. Now stand still. It won't hurt much this way. I have no solution for this situation, Warren. Oh! Look out! Oh my gosh. That was pretty cool, thank you. Tempest. Hell yeah, baby, did you see that jazz? Tempest, the action movie coming to theaters near you. But no time to waste being awestruck. Climb up on the wreckage before backup arrives. Will do. Thank you, Tempest. Can I go back this way, please? That's disappointing. I guess I'll get over it. I don't know what possessed me to just keep moving forward. I should have just walked up and checked it out. Oh, well, I just wanted us to see everything. In case there was something important there or something. That's alright. There's no sprint. I'm moving at max speed. Ooh boy, that was a close one back there. Close, but no cigar. Man, you're tough as heck. Getting so far, taking out the termite trash along the way? I better watch out, or you'll steal my job. You know, I usually grab the newbies right from the pit. If I'm swift enough, that is. Oh, whatever. Name's Tempest. Tempest. I am R.E.A.C.H. Like Richard, or like bloody homicidal corp machine? I can't read. Just joking, dude. Relax. Who am I to judge names? You're okay, R.E.A.C.H. I'm taking you to a safe place. Hit your breath now as you're about to make like a banana and split. R.E.A.C.H's state. Termites. How to get back. Termites. Why are you not hostile? Why should I be? Is that what they say about us in the city? Every human I've encountered showed extreme aggression. Don't see termites as humans, dude. They're violent scumbags. They hide in old shafts and use mining equipment to hunt us for fun and for food. They're cannibals? So if you see them, you kill them or run. R.E.A.C.H's state. For fresh out of hatch disposal, you're quite capable. What body part did they take? This body is whole, just mildly injured. How did you get here? I escaped, and I fell from the wall, and somehow survived. Huh, can't decide if you're lucky or not. This place you've landed in. Phoenix Corp dumps its waste here. And we're the waste, or disposals if you like. Okay, how to get back. I need to get back behind the wall as soon as possible. It's always this way, you know. Denial to start, then sweet, sweet acceptance. What do you mean? Come on, have you seen the frickin' wall? It's insuperable. Insuperable. But unless you can fly or melt crap with your eyes... Wait a sec, that gun. Can you use it? Yes, I found it on a dead trooper. I assumed the biolock malfunctioned, so Well, I never. A Phoenix gun, a disposal can use... Man, I cannot wait to see the council's faces. This will make them change their tune for sure. Come on, Reachy boy. Jump into the car, I'll get you back. I'll get us all back. Okay. I recognize this man, Warren. Rolf Hurd, who processed his profile before. We should follow. The troopers will come looking for him. They will take us back to the laboratory. Alright, dude, let's follow Tempest, man. Okay. Let's into the demo. Gotcha. Replaced. Thank you for playing the Replaced demo. You're welcome. Alright, well, I'm back on the main menu now, and this is where I'll review the game. If you're just here for the gameplay, I appreciate you hanging out, and I hope to see you again. Now, for the review, I'm going to start with the visuals, and I would say visually the game is super solid. I really like its art direction. The pixel art looks nice. The way our character kind of stands out from the environment itself is pretty cool, too. All the assets and just the way everything looks and the clutter and all the details of the environment make it very, very convincing. Now, like I said, YouTube compression might make this look kind of muddy and not very pleasing to look at, but I can assure you actually playing the game, like looking right at it, looks really good. So I've always really liked all of the screenshots and everything I've seen during the development cycle of this game, and I really like what they're doing with this. It has this kind of edgy, very grungy sort of aesthetic to it, almost not cyberpunk, but it has like a retro futurism about it, and I really like that. I would say the UI looks pretty solid. I like the use of the red sort of text that they have, like it's kind of dithered, and I think it gives it a very unique appeal. And also the way the wingman little device looks, the text and reading all the lore and notes and stuff that we pick up. I like that addition as well, and I just think it looks really cool. Of course, I usually talk about main menus as well. I would say this main menu is pretty solid. I like how it looks. It's just us kind of looking around and chilling, and I think it's all right. It's simplistic, but I think in a good way. I especially enjoy the weather effects. I think the rain in the game looks really, really cool. I'm a big fan of rain in video games, so I can't help but mention that as well. So overall, I would say visually the game is pretty solid. I have no complaints about it personally, and I'm very impressed by it. Now, in terms of audio, I would say the audio in this game is also pretty solid. The main menu has pretty good ambient music here that sets the tone very well. It's very Blade Runner-esque. It's very dramatic and brooding, and I think it's appropriate for this kind of game. Now, while actually in-game, I like the environmental sounds, you know, our footsteps and things in the environment happening, like the termite sniper chasing us, the music being dynamic based on the situation we're in, either combat or some sort of scripted event. And I think that's good. It makes the game feel more dynamic in that way. And I like the sound of just all the technology and all of that as well. Everything we can interact with, pushing boxes, swinging from, you know, place to place, platforming and all of that. I think all the sound design and what we're interacting with, it comes across very well. Now, I'm kind of mixed on the combat audio. It comes off as a very flat level for everything. Sometimes the gun execute thing that we do sounds very punchy, and sometimes it doesn't. And I would like maybe a little bit more consistency in that regard in the combat, and when key events happen in the combat, such as doing counterattacks or doing the executes. I wish they would really stand out with something very, very punchy and dynamic in that way. Because the melee attacks themselves, at least from the weapon that we have, are very flat and very, I guess, basic. It's just a baton. You're hitting people with baton over and over and over again. So there's nothing really there that gives off a lot of impact just in the basic attacks. So the fact that we can do counterattacks and do the executes, I wish those would stand out more. Obviously, this is just a demo, so I'm sure they can fine-tune a lot of things going forward, but that's just maybe more of a personal nitpick for me. Like I said, sometimes the gun would be very punchy, and sometimes it wasn't. It's like in some games like Bloodborne and other games like that, where you do the visceral attacks or some sort of execute, like in Doom and things like that. I think those should really stand out and feel that much more impactful and almost rewarding in that sense, that it's like, all right, I got my execute ready, and then boom, and it's just this very enjoyable, satisfying sound. And I think they can improve that in some ways. Now, there's also audio associated with text appearing on screen. I'm usually pretty critical of that in games, especially if it's obnoxious, but I like their approach to it. It has this sort of a digital sound about it when the text is appearing, and there's no voice acting either, which I'm actually kind of surprised by, but I think it's totally fine. I think it works. I don't think it hurts the game in any way. I don't mind reading stuff and sort of putting my own voice or my own spin on certain characters. That's always a lot of fun for me, at least personally. So even with the lack of voice acting, I would say the text appearing and the way it works and everything is fine. So overall, the audio I'd say is pretty good in general. I think the ambience and overall atmosphere of the game really shines and benefits from the audio design, but the combat itself I think could be adjusted in a way to make it just a little bit more satisfying. Now, in terms of mechanics, it's pretty straightforward. It's a side-scroll, platformy sort of action game. There's not much depth to it that I've noticed so far. There are scripted events where you need to stealth to, avoid certain things like the termite sniper. Aside from that, it's pretty straightforward, and I like that. Maybe here and there we'll do a puzzle like find a power cell to turn on a terminal to then make the platform easy to, reach the other side. And then, of course, when we had to find that box and push it off down to our level, you had to do some platforming there. So reading the environment, being observant, I think is a nice way to have us interact with the world we're in. And I think that makes the puzzles and the platforming that much more engaging. So I don't have a problem with the mechanics so far. I think the combat itself is fine, and I think is a big point of contention for me because I like the combat, but it is very much just sort of using basic attacks over and over and over again until you're able to charge your execute to one-hit kills, basic enemies. I'm sure as we go through the actual game, obviously it gave us the pistol early on in this demo. Maybe the progression of combat makes a little bit more sense in the full game. Maybe we'll get different weapons and different ways to approach combat. But based on my experience here, I'm kind of mixed on the combat. I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I'm not saying that at all. It's kind of flat in a lot of ways. And I think maybe the audio design and complaints that I had there will definitely help that and bring it up to a different level. But so far, the world itself and interacting with it, platforming and doing puzzles definitely stands out, and I really enjoy that aspect. The combat itself is kind of basic so far. Obviously, like I said, this is a demo. So I think I'm just very fascinated to see how the combat could potentially evolve going forward and into the full game. It definitely has a lot of potential, I'll give it that. Obviously, if combat isn't necessarily the focus point of this game, I totally understand that. It's just there to sort of fill in the blanks of the overall experience. And I think that's totally acceptable. So on to the story and the concept of the game. I really like what they're going for here. Like I've said a few times, it's very Blade Runner-esque, very retro-futurist, has a lot of very familiar aesthetics and I guess design philosophy in terms of us being this person with an AI in us, like the movie R.E.A.C.H, which is a very good movie, by the way. And the idea that some sort of catastrophe happened in America revolving around radiation of some kind, having this crazy fallout and displacing people, and to the point where eventually enough people were able to get together and rise from the ashes and create the Phoenix Corporation to jumpstart the American civilization. And I think that's really cool. It's very dystopian and very uneasy, though. Obviously, you have this all-encompassing corporation now in charge of everything. They have absolute power and influence over everything, and that's very dangerous. Now, while on one end, you can see them as a savior, they help revive our civilization, they're also the oppressors of it. They have full carte blanche on whatever they want to do at any time of day, whenever they want. And that's incredibly dangerous. It's a very authoritarian style of ruling. On the surface, the Phoenix Corporation seems to be very altruistic, but in the long run, they've become this oppressive state that only cares about what they can gain from people and how to control them. And I very much like their approach to that, especially being in this retro-futuristic sort of style here. I think it's really cool, and I like the foundation they set up. The fact that we have this AI in us sort of leading us back to the city and seeing where that goes and figuring all of that out, I'm just very intrigued by. I don't really have much else to say about the story. I just think it's a pretty solid start, especially with its environmental storytelling and us, traversing the world and seeing the remnants of everything and how people have adapted to survive and how they live and whatnot. And I think that's really cool. And of course, the more we play the game, the more we read notes and interact with people and explore, the world I think will really open up and build upon itself in a positive way. So I think the story definitely has a lot of potential, and I think it's a really good first impression. And now in terms of the concept, I think it's pretty solid. Like I've said, I've been looking at this game for a long time, looking forward to playing it. And I really like their approach to just the overall presentation of a platformer like this, being able to move in and out of the environment and give it some depth and give us some platforming elements and puzzles. And I haven't played a lot of platformers on my channel, but this one definitely stands out as a pretty good time. And I think it's conceptually really solid. Now, in terms of performance and settings, I would say the performance is pretty solid, actually. I was kind of worried of how this game would perform because it looks very taxing with how much detail there is in this game, but my only issue with the performance is throughout our playthrough here, there was some stuttering. There would be little hiccups throughout, and I'm not really sure why. Just a little very quick drop in frames, like you would barely notice it probably watching this, but as I played it, it happened quite often. I don't know if it was during autosave moments or transitioning between spaces, but I definitely noticed it being fairly consistent throughout, and I hope that you can fine-tune that a little bit, and I'll go over the options now and talk more about that as we go. So for the options, you have your general options here. We'll open those up. These are your languages that you can go through. They have a fair amount, it looks like. So that's great. Yeah, look at that. Wow. A lot of options there for languages. That's great. You have your simplified font. You can do that as well if you don't want the sort of digital looking pixelated text there. That makes it maybe a little bit easier to read for some people. So that's always a good thing. You can turn screen shake on or off, and you can change the subtitle sizes here. I bumped mine up a little bit just so it'd be easier for us to read them. And the background opacity is for the background of the text boxes as well. So I think that's pretty great. So then on to graphics, you have your screen modes here, which is mine is set to borderless at the moment. Your resolution, your frames per second limit, which I have on 60. That's why I'm a little thrown off by the frame drops and whatnot. 60 should, I would say, be pretty achievable on my computer, and maybe there's something else going on in the background that's causing those little dips, but obviously they can improve that going forward, I hope. Anyways, you also have your brightness here that you can adjust as well. And then on to your audio options, you have your master music sound effects volumes and your audio device. So those are good to see. I like having options like this in games. So I just fine-tune them a little bit for my liking here. As you can see, by default, they're all set to max. And then for keyboard, it shows all of your key bindings here. So you have your jump, interaction, and wingman buttons, and then your character movement, your combat as well. And I believe you can probably rebind these because it does say reset to default. So you can change those if you like. And then for the controller, which is what I used, it said use the controller for best experience on PC. That's what I did. So it shows all of your key bindings here as well. So that's great. I have vibration turned off because I don't like vibration. Anyways, you have your remap here as well. So you can remap the controller. That's really cool. So I would say the settings are really good. I don't think there's anything missing from them. So totally acceptable. I appreciate all the options that they have there. And like I said, while the performance I would say is pretty solid all the way around, the strange little dips and hiccups throughout were very distracting, and I hope they can fine tune that. So my final judgment for the replaced demo is I would say it's very good. This demo, I think, is a really solid first impression. I've waited many years to play this, like I said, and I'm very excited to see it also finally getting an official release date, which I believe is March 12th of this year. So that's great. Like I said, visually, the game is super solid. I really like the audio design, even though I think some of the combat audio could be fine-tuned and punched up a little bit in some ways. The mechanics are really solid, especially in terms of interacting with the environment, the platforming, and the puzzles. I'm still sort of mixed on how the combat feels, but like I said, that can probably have more depth and everything in the full game, and I'm curious to see where they go with that. And of course, if combat isn't the point, I totally understand that. Like I said, the story is very familiar in some ways, but also fresh, and I really like their approach to it in this strange dystopian retro-futuristic world we live in, and I think it's great. Solid first impression with the story. Conceptually, I think the game is really fun. I think it's very unique in a lot of ways, and I appreciate that. In terms of performance, like I said, there's some hiccups throughout the demo that I think are very distracting, and I'm not really sure why they're happening. Hopefully that can be fine-tuned, and I think the settings are totally acceptable, and I appreciate everything they added there. So overall, like I said, pretty solid experience. I'm really happy to have played this today, and I think it was a good time. Like I said, the official release date for the game is March 12th, so go check that out if you're curious. And to the developers, I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and your work. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts on this game? Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? Just want to say hi? Let me know what's up. And don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything and go play this game for yourself and form your own opinion. And if you'd like to support my channel, hit subscribe, leave a like, comment, and share the video. I'd greatly appreciate that. Now, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day. I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me. But don't forget,